These are the moments that still give me pause after all my years of traveling. Some are good, some are bad, some are just kind of weird. But let's just walk through them. They're in no particular order. I'm just gonna list them off as they come to mind. One of the first things that comes to mind was an encounter I had the first time. I think it was the first time I was in Paris. And I speak French well enough to get by, but at that particular time, I was just so overwhelmed that I just wanted to do this particular conversation in English, or at least broken English and French if I could. And I was trying to buy a ticket for the metro, or anyway, I will not. I'm trying to go too much detail, just try to keep it simple. I was trying to buy a ticket for the metro, and I remember coming up to the lady and very politely asking her if it would be possible to speak in English. And I just got this face and this no. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is where the stereotype of Parisians and France comes from." And I was just being so shocked because up to that point everyone else had been so nice. And so I look back and I giggle and I'm like, I don't know, maybe they woke up on the wrong side of the bed. But it's something that to this day crosses my mind. I'm always like, oh yeah, that lady that day, trying to buy a ticket in the metro. It was funny, and it reminds me actually of another incident on that same trip. I was with a friend of mine, and we were ordering some crepes in the morning, and there was a English speaking couple in front of us. I seem to recall them being American, calling calling all of us out. Sorry to call it the stereotype, but they were trying to order and they clearly spoke zero French, had done no prep, and the gentleman was so nice. We had ordered from him like in the previous days, and this lady was saying that she wanted the chicken, and I didn't appear that it had even crossed her mind that this man spoke any English, and so she's up there pointing, and she's like, "Oh, we want the chicken," and she then mimes a chicken where she full on flaps her wings and starts clucking like a chicken, and I don't know how this man kept a straight face. My friend and I definitely didn't. We had a good laugh about it, and then, of course, we stepped forward and both of us spoke, pretty good French, and ordered in French and apologized to the man for the person before us. It was just wild. And again, it's like, okay, that's where the stereotypes come from. Here's this woman who just is not making any effort with the language or to even just try and be kind and have some understanding. And she's up here flapping her arms like a chicken. It just, oh, that gives you pause. How let's shift gears maybe just some less stereotypical moments. I think back on a lot of moments I've had where I instantly think, why did nobody tell me? You may I don't know where your mind goes when you hear me say that, but probably not where my mind goes. I've had so many instances over the years where I've shown up somewhere and it was so breathtakingly beautiful, for example, that I just had to stop and think to myself, why did nobody tell me? And it may be that it was something that you just can't convey. One of those moments was flying into Ushuaia, Argentina, to go on an expedition ship to Antarctica. No one told me when you fly into Ushuaia that you fly past the only portion of the Patagonia Mountains that run east to west, which means as you're flying south for that last little stretch before you get to the Beagle Channel and Ushuaia, you look out the right-hand window of the plane and you're looking down these stunning valleys with peaks that are so high they extend above the tree line and they're snow capped. And if you get a clear day, it takes your breath away. And then you land. The airport is right there on the Beagle Channel, and you look out your window, and Ushuaia, in a lot of ways, just kind of clings to what little bit of buildable space there is at the foot of these mountains. And it's stunning. No one had told me. Of course, you see pictures, but that doesn't do it justice. I still think back to that. It was such a magical moment that you can't be prepared for. I guess, even if someone told me, I wouldn't have been prepared for it. It was a moment I had hoped to repeat this last year, and unfortunately flew in late and the clouds were in. So that was a huge bummer. But that was definitely one of those moments that I just thought, oh my God, why didn't nobody tell me? Similar thing. I was in Scotland. I went hiking. I should say walking. I walked through Glen Nevis all the way out to Steel Falls, and again, just so breathtakingly beautiful. It was, why did nobody tell me? Similarly, in Scotland, the first time I showed up to Edinburgh, nobody told me Edinburgh was built on a hill, and I thought, why did nobody tell me? As I had to hold my suitcase up and over, and it was this whole thing. I was a broke traveler at the time. There was no getting a bus or a taxi. Feet were it. Yeah, there's been some beautiful, beautiful moments like that. That still give me pause when I think about it when they cross my mind. Something that always gives me pause. Oh, I have to laugh every time I see so many flights of stairs or a spiral staircase. Thank you, Europe. I'm traumatized. I always pause and think, why is it always stairs? Even telling stories, I look back and I just, if there's a staircase involved, I'm obviously traumatized. I still think, why is it always stairs? Stairs give me pause. I've seen so many staircases in Europe, spiral staircases. There was one in Scotland. I had this beautiful apartment, Airbnb apartment, and it was a very tight spiral staircase. And it was one of those years that I had packed a bag that was just a little bit too big to be a carry-on. So it was enough. It was a long haul up, I think, three stories. So I remember that. Most recently, I was in Italy. I think I have 5 or 6 stories to climb. Won't carry on, but Rome in the summer is hot. It was a lot of stairs. um, stairs give me pause. Yeah. So anyway, let's shift gears to some other moments. Maybe some moments where I got it. I understood. It was like a light bulb moment. I had one of those about almost 2 years ago now. I was in Asia, and I was sitting at the Koh Samui airport on a swing next to a gentleman who was an expat from Switzerland, and we had met a little bit earlier in line and talked and whatnot, and we were sitting there, and it was a beautiful evening. It was sunset. It was warm. It was stunning. We were watching the planes roll by, and that was a moment where I just, I just said, I want to say it's the exact words I said to her were, I get it now. I didn't get it until that moment why people leave and move to Thailand and Koh Samui and, just stay there. Like, I had heard about the expat community. I heard it was wonderful. I hadn't been back to Asia in 18 years. So I didn't have that understanding and that perspective. And in that moment, that sense of peace and tranquility, and really, it was me wrapping up my time in Thailand. I understood with immense clarity why so many people do choose to be expats in Thailand, why they choose, Koh Samui and, many other wonderful places in Thailand. So that was one of those moments where looking back, it still gives me pause because I understand it, and it's just a perspective that I will certainly carry forward in my life, and who knows, what my future holds. But that that's still a moment that gives me pause. Those moments that of just a pure, clear understanding of something that you thought you understood based on what people had told you, what you've read, that you don't understand until you've had the boots on the ground experience, that firsthand experience. So that was one for me. I could probably think of others, but it certainly stands out. So yeah, those are moments that give me pause. Some are good, some are bad, some maybe a little less tangible. But I think again, that's just one of the beautiful things about travel and exposing yourself to new things and new people and new cultures is you brought in your own worldview. You go from seeing the world in this little keyhole, these little 30-second snippets on the media or social or whatever news article you read, and you get that firsthand experience, and it really broadens your mind. It's a cool thing. I love it. I can talk about it all the time, but yeah. So those are some moments that give me pause. Um, and yeah, my kitty's here, by the way. She doesn't come up much. She's up here where she's not supposed to be. There we go. She doesn't come up much. She usually is my tabby kitten. She's my helper, but that's Miss Kitty. She's very shy. So, on that bombshell, I know you're just watching to see the kitties and not listen to me jabber on. So I'll end it there. And, excited to have you in this little corner of the internet, and stick around, chill, hang out, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.